10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is January 3rd, and we're going to get started here with a price dump. So overnight, or like maybe a couple of days ago, of course, RPL was trading at $32, and this morning it crashed down to $25.50 here on Binance. You can see the number like really went down, and it wasn't just RPL that went down, it was also ETH. Went down all the way to $2,100 on Binance, and also we had BTC that went down from nearly 46,000 down to just over 40,750. So a whole lot of different cryptos took huge dives overnight and into this morning on Eastern time, and the reason for that was because of a company called Matrix Port, who have daily and weekly news. So they released this news saying why the SEC will reject Bitcoin spot ETFs again. So what's really funny here is this was Tuesday. This was on Tuesday, January 2nd, which was dated as yesterday, of course. But then at the same time, or the same day, on Tuesday, January 2nd, they also had an article saying why the approval is imminent and why BTC is going to jump to $50,000. So here, Glenn said on the daily, they're saying that the approval is imminent. On the weekly report, they're saying that the SEC will reject the ETFs. Same date stamps. They're saying, I'm not saying which of these is right, but I wouldn't put much value in research outfit who post polar opposite views on the same day. So people are already starting to criticize it as they realized what the source of the FUD was. What ended up happening was that the Block, a media outlet, started reporting this as they put out a story basically saying that analysts say ETFs to be rejected. So that's what caused the big dump. And then here, Bitcoin Magazine says Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balchunas says we have heard nothing to indicate anything but approval. So the story was already being undone. And then here, Eleanor Terrett says, scoop here, the SEC is holding meetings today with the exchanges, NASDAQ, CBOE, and NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, to finalize comments on the 19 B4s submitted by the BTC spot ETF issuers. So it looks like they're doing the last touches on giving the approvals for the ETFs. So it looks like it's going to come soon. And if you have a look a little bit closer at the BTC chart, it did have that, that move down, but then it's kind of recovering now where it's already reclaimed about half of that move. ETH sadly is moving a little bit slower, and the same is the case for RPL. But I think that's just a part of kind of what's expected right here, because if you have a look at the ETH BTC pair, it's kind of been trending downwards and hitting new local lows, but it looks like it's going to go potentially back down to that 0.049 range maybe when the news is officially declared. And I think that will, not financial advice of course, but I think that might be the low of this market. Okay, going back to Rocket Pool here, we have this comment from Ramana, who saw this bot. So it was the ratio bot that someone used at 2 a.m. overnight, and the result of that ratio bot showed that our ETH ratio, official ratio, is now 0.10001. So that means that our ETH has appreciated against ETH 10% since launch over 2 years ago, which makes it just around 5%, just under 5% a year of growth, which is fantastic for 2 years. So congrats on that. And then Ramanan noticed it here, saying when did it happen, and then Vaka said that it happened just a little while ago. So that was a nice little milestone that was hit overnight. And yeah, 1.1 ETH now for one rETH, which is really cool. So that was a nice little call out to that. Okay, next we have this update from Notional Finance. Here on Twitter, it says two new leveraged vaults are live on Arbitrum. So you have the unlock leveraged single-click auto-compounding USDC and rETH vaults, and these are built on Balancer and Aura Finance. So here Notional go on and give a little bit more information about what the vaults are. So it says that the leverage vaults increase LP yields by borrowing from Notional. These vaults offer the ability to increase yields on LP strategies built on Balancer and Aura. And then leverage vaults are auto compounding, so you just set it and forget it. All Balancer Aura LPs earn rewards in Balancer, Aura, and ARB tokens. And Notional's leverage vaults harvest and reinvest the awards daily. That's full capital efficiency. And then it says using leverage does involve risk, but the assets are in liquidity pools are pegged. Using pegged stable swap LPs reduce risks and help mitigate impermanence loss. It says once to give it a try, and you can start earning your yield now. And then Degen Score giving these vaults test drive. I mentioned that on Rocket Fuel, I think a couple of weeks ago. And then it says if you want early access on a future Notional leverage vaults, might be a good idea to mint yourself a Degen Score beacon anon. So I guess that's kind of NFT or some kind of token that if you get that, then you start getting early access to Notional's vaults. But that rETH vault now is live on Arbitrum, and you can go and interact with that as you want. Okay, so here we have Arbora.eth, who kind of started a campaign nearly a month ago, well, over a month ago actually, saying that they're making a daily post saying, asking Coinbase to stop using gETH as their sole Ethereum staking execution client. And basically, you know, this is a daily reminder saying, hey, Coinbase, like you owe 15% of stake, all uses gETH. If you stopped using gETH, then it'd go below super majority levels. Please stop doing that. So here Adam Cochran got involved and kind of called out to someone he knew who worked at Coinbase, who was Emily, I think, Choi, who then tagged Will Robinson. And Will Robinson, for those of you who don't know, is actually a rocket pooler. He runs a rocket pool node. He's a rocket fuel watcher. So, hey, Will, I said I'll give you a shout out today. So here you are. But Will works with Coinbase. I think he's a senior engineer at Coinbase. And he replied by this tweet that he put out on December 3rd, but that no one saw. So here Arbora was saying this is day 3, and he says, you know, we do care. Thank you for the push. Ethereum's client diversity is one of the most striking manifestations of its commitment to decentralization. I don't have a firm commitment to share today, but please know that we hear you and we'll be working on it. So not many people really caught Will's comment here, including Arbora. So Arbora, like Will then replied by, you know, replied with that tweet mentioned and saying, for what it's worth, I'm currently running Nethermind Nimbus on my home staking setup. Shout out using Rocket Pool. And in my off hours, I tried to rotate around a bit to keep a feel for what's happening with many clients. And then Arbora says, thanks to the update, I hadn't actually seen that you'd posted last month. From everything you guys have said publicly, I get a strong sense that you're working to diversify. I think they're just a little nervous that working on it means deciding whether to do it still. And Will here replies with some great clarity saying, we're going to do it. The timeline is still to be determined. I want to under-promise and over-deliver. So I said, Will's going to get a shout out on the show. And then Arbora replies saying, well-deserved, showing leadership and transparency in the institutional staking space. And he says, once they've actually switched over, I know a ton of us will be interested in the technical details. So Arbora replied to Will saying, you guys rock. Do you mind if I share this? And he said the tweet is public, so share away. And Hani Abu says, don't let us down, Will. So there's no pressure, Will. Just like, you know, a $250 billion protocol on your shoulders. But yeah, Will's really cool. Like I met Will in Denver and it's really, really nice. So I'm really happy that Will is on the show today. Okay, some sad stuff on the show today, or some stuff that was causing a lot of confusion. So this news came out yesterday. Well, it didn't come out yesterday, but it was resurfaced yesterday. So Jerry Brito here says, new crypto tax reporting obligations took effect on January 1st. And basically it says that if you have if you receive $10,000 or more in crypto, you now have an obligation to report the transaction, including the names, addresses, social security numbers, etc., to the IRS within 15 days under threat of felony charge. So if you get a transaction, it's got $10,000 or more in there, then you have to report that to the IRS. This is of course only for people in the US. So imagine if you get a lottery block, that has 4 ETH in there or 5 ETH in there, you now have to report that to the IRS. But what do you report, right? What's the name of the person who gave you that, like the Ethereum blockchain? What's his address? Like it doesn't make sense, right? Like what's this Ethereum blockchain social security number? So a lot of these things don't make sense. So Jerry here gives some information saying this is the law that Coin Center challenged in federal court, and our case is in appeals. Unfortunately, for the time being, there is an obligation to comply, but it's unclear how to comply. So and then he also said that basically, we've been working on this for a while, and these rules have been known for a while, but it seems like people only started caring about it today once the tax rules came out. So yeah. And then Ryan Sean Adams from Bankless says, if you're a US citizen and get 10,000 more in crypto, you have to report it to the IRS within 15 days, or they can charge you with a felony starting now. They want names, addresses, and social security numbers. Oh, and they're not telling you how to file the report. So there's no information on what the report is, what information you need to get, and what you do if there's information missing. And then David Hoffman, of course, also Bankless says, me and the homies committing tax fraud, and it's the Squirtle, I think, from Pokemon, and they're all having a good time. This, of course, was brought up in trading as well. So people in Discord had a lot of to talk about this, because most people who are staking the Ethereum have more than $10,000 of crypto, and they get money coming through rocket pool contracts and etc., like different rewards that are coming in over the course of the year that could add up to more than $10,000. For some people, it adds up to more than $10,000 per month. I'm thinking of some of the whales in the community who make big amounts of RPL per month, or get big amounts of RPL per month. Basically, they get $10,000. What are they supposed to do with that? So there's a whole lot of discussion here. And then like people like Bossy here saying, unless my accountant tells me I need to do this, I'm not doing shit. And then there was a lot more discussion going on as well. So you can go and give that a read. It definitely got a lot of people kind of scared yesterday. And hopefully we get some good news on that. And here, like Coin Center was talking about that as well, talking about the new rules and how they might impact you in crypto. So you can go and read that as well and get some information from there as well. And finally, we're going to end today's episode with news of Devcon, which will be taking place in Asia in 2024. So Southeast Asia Southeast Asia welcomes Devcon 7, and it will be taking place in Bangkok in Thailand. So if you are interested in attending Devcon this year, know that it'll be happening in November 12th to 15th in Bangkok, and that is pretty exciting. I know that a lot of people want to visit Thailand, so you can book your travel now. You'll get a pretty good deal on flights, and it'll be a nice trip for you if you are heading out that way. So on that note, I'm going to end today's episode. Thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.